You're listening to Mike and Tricia Mornings.
93.1 Kiss FM.
An Instagram post about his wife's beauty did not go the way one particular man thought it would. Robbie Tripp is husband to a curvy goddess, and he posted a picture of himself and his wife with a bathing suit on to Instagram last week, and he said that even though he was teased as a teenager for his attractions to girls on the thicker side, he's since learned about feminism and unrealistic standards of beauty and can fully embrace his love of curvy women. And he said for him, there's nothing sexier than thick thighs, a cute little side roll, etc. And he thinks guys should rethink the lies peddled by the media. A lot of women took to his Instagram post and said, "Dear nice guy, dating a curvy woman does not make you a hero." One woman even said he was a nice guy misogynist, which is the type of person whose bias isn't obvious right off the bat, but who holds outdated views about women deep down, and that by saying he finds his wife's body shape sexy, that somehow solves centuries of sexism.
Well, to be fair, he said now he finds her body shape sexy. Before, he used to just think they were fat.
Don't compliment anybody because you're going to offend everybody else.
Well, that was totally a backhanded compliment anyway.
I don't know that it was.
Yeah?
I don't know that it was.
That would be like me saying, "Hey, girl, you don't sweat much for a fat chick." You know, I mean, it's like, but I was being nice.
No,
you weren't. He should have just left it at curvy goddess.
He should have.
Period.
I agree, because once you start explaining yourself, then you start getting into, there's a whole big minefield out there, and he found them all.
Actually, he should have just left out the word curvy and just left it at goddess. No.
He had to get all descriptive and specific.
Look at me. I'm okay with fat chicks. Nombre. Cevato. Right?
You guys.
Right?
You guys are so funny. I swear. You think you're saying the right thing, and we're all like, oh?
Yeah.
we totally do the Scooby.
I know to leave it inside, though. Not like this guy. Like, nombre. No memes, way. No memes.
No memes.
Mike and Tricia Mornings. El Paso's morning show. 93.1 Kiss FM.
America is still reeling over the news yesterday that Chris Pratt and Anna Faris were calling it quits. They are legally separated. And yesterday, word was that Jennifer Lawrence may have had something to do with it. What's the latest today? Please tell me America's sweetheart was not involved.
No, she wasn't, as it turns out. It was Chris's ego.
Oh, huh?
It's Chris's gigantic ego.
How you figure?
Because now all of a sudden he's super hot, and Anna's like, look, you know what? We're in our mid to late 80s. I want to have some more kids.
They're in their 80s already?
I mean, 80s, 30s.
Oh, good. Because I was going to be like, dang.
No, mid to late 30s.
Wow, they sure have preserved themselves well.
I know, right? What cream are they using? So he's like, look, you know, I'm super hot. I'm Chris Pratt. I'm super hot Chris Pratt. Yeah. And I don't want to have more kids. And I don't want to be tied down to any particular location.
He just wants to live out of hotel rooms,
Apparently.
And just travel and be in whatever country they're filming in.
Yeah. And she's like, except that we have a 4-year-old son, and you know he's getting close to school age, and you know we need to start thinking about, like, you know, sinking some roots and maybe having some more kids.
Hey, but you know it worked for Angelina.
Traveling around like that?
Traveling around with the children.
I know, but this doesn't work for everybody. So, I mean, you know, so this particular case, Anna Faris was like, look, tell you what, you go off and do movies. That's great. Hey, no problem. But come back here. Yeah. You know, and this will be our home base.
It doesn't sound like Anna was trying hard enough. It sounds like they could have made it work. I mean, Anna and Angelina and Brad made it work. It just doesn't sound like Anna was really trying. Like she didn't really want to try.
No, it sounds to me like Chris is just a gigantic jerk, and he's making me mad now.
I think that's what it was.
No, I think I think so too. I think he is a gigantic jerk.
I get it. She was with him when he was still chubby Chris.
Yeah, and she was with him, when she was still, career was the hotter one.
Right, yeah.
By far.
Yeah, because he was on Parks and Rec, and he had just done a movie, and that's when they met.
Right.
You know, but he was still chubby Chris.
Chubby Chris.
And he was still just known for the TV show.
That's
he
right.
wasn't the big action star that he is now.
No.
This was, you know, before Jurassic World. It was before Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
I understand that.
Yeah. And now she's like, look, I don't mind that you're hotter. That's great. That's super fantastic. You know, let's start building a family, because it's not going to always be this crazy. So let's start building a family.
Especially in Hollywood.
Yeah. And he's like, Yeah, no.
Although I don't know, man. Hollywood for men, it could be a long, long career.
It could be.
I mean, look at what Harrison Ford. He's still an action star in his 70s.
Sure, absolutely, and that's great.
Yeah,
and that's great.
yeah.
But at a certain point, you also have to decide that that a family is also important
Yeah.
enough.
And then you also have to understand that Pratt lived out of his car for the longest time. So traveling the world and living in these fancy hotels.
Right. He's like, hey, this is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's cool. She's like, hey, go. That's
Yeah,
fine.
right.
Go do your movies. Go travel. Go do. That's fantastic. But I need to stay back here, and I would like to have some more kids.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to have any more kids right now.
And so that's what broke him up.
And that's what broke him up.
The pressures of a Hollywood career. That's too bad.
It is too bad. I don't like Chris Pratt anymore.
That is too bad. Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you
No,
do.
I don't
Come
like
on.
him. No.
Come on.
No.
I'm willing to bet Anna was just really, really annoying. Come back home.
Whatever. What a jerk you are.
You've been traveling too long.
It's a wonder that your wife doesn't give you Benadryl slushies every night. It really is a wonder. I have more and more respect for that woman every day. I do. That's your Hollywood Dirt.
Here's what's trending now.
Of course, the arena is what's trending this morning. The judge ruled yesterday. Kinda, sort of, we think.
I know. Well, she did indeed rule. She sent out a final ruling that they have to work within the $180 million of the quality of life bond that was set aside for the arena. They can't use other money to renovate it, to upgrade it, whatever. So in other words, quality of life bonds can't be used on
Or
the arena.
certificates of obligation, for that
I'm
matter.
sorry, certificates of obligation.
Yeah.
Can't be used to change it or
Right,
upgrade
right.
it or
To
add
come back
things
later.
to it. Yeah, stuff
Like they're
that.
doing right now for the swimming pools where
Right,
they want
exactly.
more money
Yeah.
because they say they were underfunded
Right.
and they're using certificates of obligation or they want to use certificates of obligation. She says you can't do that
Can't
for
do
this
that.
arena
Can't
to
do
come
that.
back later, years later,
Right.
and try to renovate it to make it a sports arena.
Yeah, and the city also cannot do anything that would bespeak a sports arena.
Right.
No locker rooms, no bleachers, no scoreboards, nothing that's going to look anything like a sports arena.
What she did not answer was, can there be sporting events
Yeah, no.
at the multipurpose arena?
Yeah.
She did not answer that. She left that pretty vague, although the city attorney seems to think that it's a victory for them.
Right.
And that
Yes, we would say there can be sports in that facility.
that's what the city attorney says.
Well, yeah, and the reason
Because
why
it's
she's
that
saying
vague.
that, well, it's that vague, and also it doesn't say they can't.
Right.
And
Right.
if you know anything about legalese,
Yes.
you have to say can and can't.
Which is exactly what they wanted when they went back to the judge the second time. If
Right.
you recall, he was saying, their lawyer was saying, the city's lawyer was saying that city council wanted the right to decide what they meant by what they meant.
Right, and that's basically what they got.
And so it just means that, for example, we can't host the, I don't know, like the El Paso Kickers or an arena football team
Right.
or anything like that.
Yeah, we cannot have an anchor team.
Right.
And we can't have anything permanently in the structure.
But it doesn't sound like Jennifer Hahn will not be allowed to, to defend her title at
Exactly.
this new arena whenever it does get built.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know, but one of our city council members thinks that maybe the city should fight it and take it to the next level.
Right. Dr. Michael No said yesterday that that there's no point in us building an arena if it's not going to be able to host sporting events. And from what he said, I'm kind of reading between the lines of what he said. It's like, look, if we can't also outfit it to be a sporting arena,
Yeah.
then there's no point in having it.
Yeah, which
So-
sounds like he should have kept his mouth shut because it sounds like exactly what the opponents were saying what the city wanted to do from the very beginning.
But see, that's the thing. Joyce Wilson said that. She was like, look, we worded the bond issue so vaguely so that we could come back in
Yeah.
and do what we wanted to do in the first place.
You know what? They've spent way too much money on this, and they can't recoup the $15 million that they've already spent.
Oh, and by the way, everybody who thinks that we're going to be paying for everybody's legal fees, we're not.
No.
Everybody has to pay their own legal
Yeah,
fees.
yeah. So, I mean, that's even less that we have to build this arena. I don't think it's a smart move, especially if the city lawyer thinks that, we can still host sporting events.
Right.
And they can build it in Duranguito. It sounds to me like the city got exactly what it wanted.
And you know what? They need to just build the dang thing.
Yeah.
I mean, build it already, get it done with, because
Right.
all you guys are going to do is spend more and more months and more millions
Yes.
of dollars.
And we're going to have less and less of an arena.
And you know what? Who's to say that we're not going to get another judge who's going to be just as vague?
Right. Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, I think we should all cut our losses
Mm-hmm.
right about now, and let's just get this thing done, man.
Yep.
Let's just get this, because it's just gone way too long.
it has.
That's what's trending now. It's Mike and Tricia Mornings on 93.1 Kiss FM.
And now, Mike and Tricia Mornings on today's Best Mix, 93.1 Kiss FM.
Remember that scene in Independence Day when all the little alien ships come out of the big ship and they like start coming at the U.S. fighters,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Remember that scene?
yeah.
They were like everywhere.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw that yesterday.
Yeah, because it's been on for the last 2 weeks.
I know. I saw that yesterday. Not the movie, something similar to being attacked by aliens.
Oh, because the movie has been on the
No,
last
I
couple
know.
of weeks on
I love
cable.
that movie. I love that. I'll watch that movie. I don't care how little or how much is left in the movie. I'm sitting down and I'm watching that movie.
What were you playing, like an old school video game?
No. I was outside watering and I noticed that there were 2 wasps, like kind of flying around. And I was like, man, I need to get over there to water over there. So I know what I'll do. I'll squirt them and they'll
Sure.
go away.
Yeah.
I hit a nest that I had no idea was there. And all of a sudden, dude, it looked like the alien scene from Independence Day. There were so many wasps.
Yes.
And the girls were with me. They were outside with me. And I'm like, oh my God. So I like grabbed them and we ran around the side of the house and we're standing in the front yard and I'm thinking to myself, crap, I don't have a phone. I don't have the keys to the front door.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm like, I am stuck. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not walking back in the backyard because there was like a cloud of them. It was, and they're huge. They're enormous. And so I'm sitting there thinking, okay, now what? Now what do we do? My mom's not down the street. She's at work. My sister's at work. I'm like, well, how am I going to get my house?
Didn't occur to you to move?
Well, that was the next thought. It really was. I was like, look, okay, I've dropped sugar and a glass that turned into glass dust all within the last 6 months.
Yeah.
The wasps, that's it, man. We're out. Put the for sale sign in the front yard.
Have you never heard that phrase about stirring up a hornet's nest?
Dude, I didn't know I had a nest.
Phrases come from something.
I know,
right?
I know.
Like usually it's stuff that has really happened repeatedly, and
Yes.
then somebody says, "Hey, let me invent a phrase for this."
I know.
It happens all too often.
I know.
Don't stir up a hornet's
Don't
nest.
stir up a hornet's nest. Well, I found out the hard way. Yeah, they're not kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my God. So we're out in front for like a good 20 minutes, just kind of wandering around, looking like, loiterers.
Right.
And I'm
Cat
sure,
burglars.
I know, I'm sure people who were driving by were going, what is that homeless woman? Because I was dressed like a homeless person. Because I was outside in the backyard working, And they're probably thinking, what is that homeless woman and those 2 children doing out in front of that house? Oh, my God.
Panhandling has reached an all-time low in this
Right?
neighborhood.
Exactly. Ethel, we're going to have to move. And so I was like, oh, my God. So we finally, I finally was like, okay, let's go see what's going on. So we walk back in. I see one flying around, and we like scoot past him real quick and we get inside. So I'm looking because it's like right by my window is where they seem to come from.
Yeah, I've noticed because I myself just the other day, sprayed some nests, and I noticed they like to build their nest about where you leave your windows cracked for the evaporative.
Oh,
yeah,
because that's where it was.
And plus, it hides them from water and rain and all that kind of stuff, right? So, but they like the cool breeze that comes out of your house. Because at least twice a summer, I have to go all around the perimeter of the house, and every time they're always building by one of the windows, and it's always where the window is cracked.
Well, and that's where they are, and it's this nest, and it's like the size of a dinner plate, dude.
Oh yeah, man, you let that one go a long time.
I didn't know it was there, and I'm outside all the time. So I mean, they've been pretty quiet. Until, of course, I sprayed them with water.
Sure.
And so I'm looking through my my bedroom window, and they have wedged it between the brick of the house and the bars on the windows, and it's enormous. It's like something out of a horror movie.
Yeah, you need to get some of that spray, and then you need to walk all around your house, and especially pay attention to windowsills.
No. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I've already called an exterminator. Are you kidding?
Then you need to call a guy.
I was like, no. That's enough of that.
All right.
And when Ryan came to the house to get the girls, I told him what had happened because the girls were completely freaked out.
Okay.
And when he came to pick up the girls, I told him what happened. And he goes, well, let me go get some of that wasp stuff. And I was like, I don't think you understand how big this nest is.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, there were like 70,000 wasps coming at me.
See, what you do, though, is you wait until either morning or evening, because that's when they're all, that's when
Is
they
that
all
when they
go
settle
back
down?
That's when they go back to home base.
Oh.
Right? And so that's how you assure yourself of getting most, if not all of them, when they go back to their nest. Because during the day, there are some that are taking care of the little eggs, and then there are others that are, going around looking for food or whatever it is.
Looking for somebody to sting.
Yeah. So that's what you need to do.
Well, no, I'm not doing nothing. Because when we got inside, the first thing I did was call the exterminator. I was like, you need to come out of here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I need you to look at everything.
Right.
And I told him, this thing is huge. And he goes, and he said the same thing. He was like, how did you let it get that big? And I was like, I had no idea it was there.
Yeah.
I really didn't. It's wedged really, and it's hidden really nicely.
Oh, yeah, no.
They did a really good job of hiding themselves.
Yeah. Nature has done a good job.
Yeah.
But until then, when you hear the door knock, don't answer it. Pizza.
I know.
They're coming for you, man.
Candy Graham.
They're coming for you, girl. So until then, don't answer the door.
You're listening to Mike and Tricia Mornings.
93.1 Kiss FM.
Here's what's trending now.
Check out what's happening in your city, because your city is our city.
Right.
Because we are El Paso's morning show.
Indeedly do.
We are proud to be El Paso.
All morning long.
Here's what's going on. Taxes.
Oh, God.
Mo taxes, mo taxes, mo taxes.
Yep.
Yesterday, El Paso City Council voted to approve the projects that would be funded in a proposed almost $70 million certificates of obligation buy. These are the certificates that they pay back using your property tax money, and they don't have to go through you to do it.
Right. As a matter of fact, they changed the way that they do those to be able to do these.
Yes, yes.
They changed the rules on them.
And among the things they want to do with this $70 million includes $700,000 for a bathroom at San Jacinto Plaza.
Really? Is it going to be
Yes.
outfitted in solid gold? Is it going to be worthy of Donald Trump? $700,000?
Yeah, that's among the things that they're looking to get. They're looking to get, $1 million here, $1 million there. Of course, we need new police cars. No doubt about that.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some things that we totally need.
Right.
Like $25.1 million that would be allocated for public safety. Of that, $19 million would be used for, new police cars. We have so many police cars that are like hundreds of thousands of miles on them.
Yes.
And they break down. And we already have a small police force. And if they don't have the cars, that's even less police on the street. And then, they also want to equip the fire department with some other stuff, and they want to fix the parking garage there at the main one downtown.
Yeah, because the last thing we need is that stupid thing collapsing on somebody, and then we will really be in trouble because we'll have a multi-million-dollar lawsuit on our hands.
And then there's also money that they want for infrastructure. Among that would be $950,000 to repair stuff at Cohen Stadium.
Okay.
I don't know what exactly they want to repair. I know that if they want to put a new canopy, that alone is $1 million.
Oh, God.
So I don't know if that's what they have in mind, or if they want to, just fix up other stuff. Because, a lot of the suites are in disarray, in disrepair. They were left all trashed, and they're still pretty much trashed. So I really don't know what the specifics are as far as Cohen Stadium is. But $700,000 they want to use to build restrooms at San Jacinto Plaza, which 3 years ago, if you recall, council said, we don't have the money, we don't need them, we're not going to add them to the budget of an already bloated $6 million that it took to renovate San Jacinto Plaza. And now they want to spend $300,000 more than in 2014, because in 2014 they were talking $400,000.
Right.
Now they want $700,000.
But this shows you exactly what delays will do to the budget of a bill.
Yes.
Now, here's my big question: we don't need. Do we really need restrooms at San Jacinto?
You know, I think we've gone this long without them.
I don't think we need
there really
them.
is no pressing need.
I don't think so either. I don't know of anybody who goes there who says, golly, I'm not going to go there because there's no place to go to the bathroom.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't think we need them.
I don't think so
really don't
either.
think we need them at all. I don't think we need a whole lot of other things that they want to do with our money. And I believe that a lot of these things that they say they want to add to the quality of life, you know, projects that we okayed, but they said, oh, you know what? We were wrong
They were
how much they were going to
underfunded,
cost.
yeah.
Too bad. I agree with Mayor Leeser. One of the last acts that he did before he went out of office was to say no to these things and say, if they weren't in there, then you should go to the voters to ask them if they should be in there.
And that's what the judge just said in Austin. She was like, you can spend $180 million because that's what you allocated.
Mm-hmm.
So spend that money. Don't spend any other money. You can't get any other funding sources.
Also trending is that arena. Specifically, I want to talk about a couple of things that I see a lot on Facebook pages. A lot of people commenting, and they want to know, first of all, why does an Austin judge tell us what to do with our arena?
Right.
Why is this Austin judge even putting her nose in our business?
Right. It's because the city asked for the out of city venue to try to decide what was going on.
And they specifically wanted a judge in Travis County.
That's right. Because the last time they went to Travis County to get something like this taken care of, we got the ballpark.
Yes.
And so the city decided, hey, let's try again.
Also, people want to know, hey, why don't you just put money into the Don Haskins Center? Why don't you just put money into the County Coliseum? Why don't you just build this where Cohen Stadium is?
Right.
Well, Don Haskins Center belongs to UTEP.
Right.
So, no,
that belongs to the UT system.
County Coliseum belongs to, guess what?
The county. Yeah, that's why it's called that.
That's a whole different entity. And as far as Cohen Stadium, the bond specifically said the arena would be built downtown.
Right.
So that's why not.
And there's another thing. A lot of people are saying, well, then let's just not build it because there's not going to be any sports. So let's just not build it. Let's use the money for other stuff.
No.
We can't.
Cannot.
Because once you taxpayer money is extremely specific.
Right.
So you have to use it for what it was voted in for.
And the third thing that's trending this morning in your city, because it's also our city, because we are El Paso's morning show,
Indeed,
because
all
we're
morning
proud
long.
to be El Paso, is the shooting we talked about yesterday. Turns out it wasn't really gang related. It was the result of a child custody issue.
Right. But the gang unit is still
looking into it. Because when you look at the when you look at the mug shots, they do look rather motley,
a tad gangish.
With little marks by their eyes, and they could be in gangs, but it wasn't specifically gang related.
Right.
It happened after one of the guys, the father of the baby that was taken yesterday, if you recall, there was an Amber Alert for a baby.
Right.
Got into a confrontation with the mother, and that resulted in him firing into the house.
Right.
And then the mother's brother coming outside and firing into the car.
Yes.
And so I know the same car that was carrying his nephew.
Exactly.
But that's what it was about. It wasn't gang related per se.
Right.
Mike and Tricia mornings. El Paso's morning show. 93.1 Kiss FM.
This is a video that's going viral. Sunday, some guy at the Mickey D's in Far East El Paso, Montana and George Dieter, late Sunday night, was apparently in a rage because he had waited 2 hours for his fries, or
he
at
was
least
jonesing.
That's what another customer who filmed the altercation is alleging the fight was about.
Yes.
Hang on a second. Here we go. There he is, knocking the cookies off the counter, and then he jumped over the counter and challenged one of the employees to a fight.
I don't give a damn.
There he takes his shirt off, jumps over the counter. That's one of the other employees trying to talk him down. But we're wondering, when you last lost it, because it happens.
Well, sure.
For a lot of us, it's a case of there, but by the grace of God go I.
Mm-hmm.
When you last lost it in public, what was it over? I'm looking at you right now, Tricia, because I know you've had an incident like this yourself, because you have a tendency to lose it sometimes, especially when it comes to really poor service.
Yeah, I cannot cotton with bad service.
So when you last lost it in public, what was it over?
Well, it was maybe 3-4 weeks ago at McDonald's, believe it or not. We were there with the kids, and we were getting them some Happy Meals. It took forever to get somebody to the register. And then the girl who was taking the order, I knew she wasn't understanding what I was saying.
She could not understand the words that were coming out of your mouth?
Could not understand the words that were coming out of my mouth. And all I was saying was, I need 2 Happy Meals, but I only want the burger, the cheese, and the bread.
Okay.
No pickles, no sauce, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just dry.
And she was
just
having
like
a
that.
hard time comprehending that.
And she wasn't getting it. And it takes like 10 minutes. It's a Happy Meal. It's a fast food restaurant.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, they finally call the order number out. I go get the hamburger. I go get the Happy Meal boxes, and we open them up. No cheeseburgers.
They just totally forgot about your Happy Meal burgers.
No Happy Meal burger.
Nothing, huh?
And I'm like, are you kidding? And so I walk up with the Happy Meals. I said, y'all forgot to put the hamburgers in the boxes. And they were like, no, we didn't. And I was like...
she's calling you crazy.
Yeah. And no, she's calling me a liar.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I said, do you really think that I'm going to come up here and you can look straight there. We're sitting at the table. We're in your line of sight.
Yeah.
Do you see burgers on the table?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, you must have done something with them.
Oh, no, she didn't.
I was like, oh, honey.
Wow. She just called you a liar and a thief.
Yeah. And I look back over at Darren, and he's going, oh, God.
He knows it's coming, huh?
Here we go.
You see, it happens all too often with my little morning partner.
It does. And it's like, and I looked at her and I was like, I don't steal hamburgers and I don't try to get free stuff. I just need the 2 cheeseburgers that belong in the Happy Meal boxes.
Take your shirt off right there and then and jump over the counter and challenge her to a beatdown?
Because she kept telling me, well, ma'am, why would we do that? I'm going, are you kidding?
Yeah, because that could be your argument too.
Yeah.
Ma'am, why would I do that?
Why would I do that? You can see straight to, we're in the line of sight.
Look, they didn't even notice you when you came in. What makes you think they were paying attention to you in their line of sight?
I know, exactly. So finally, I was like, look, and there were people in the restaurant, dude.
So did you calmly lose it like you usually do, or did you rant and rave?
No, I calmly lost it.
Because you're not much of a rant and raver.
I don't like
You've
to
been
rant and
known
rave.
to rant and rave.
I have.
But usually in public,
I'm very calm.
You do the really calm, but clearly not pleased kind of thing.
Yeah, and mostly because I had the girls with me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to see me lose it.
Sure.
You know, I really don't want them to see that.
Mostly because you're Tricia from Kiss FM.
Well, and I'm running around with Darren.
Well, yeah.
And it's like, you know, and there are people in the restaurant.
Exactly.
And so I'm like, oh my God.
Man, it's got to be tough being El Paso's power media couple and getting bad service in public and not really being able to properly rant and rave.
Because you can't. You can't. How are you going to do that?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's got to be real tough.
Yeah. So I just was like, I dropped my voice. I'm like, look.
Listen, you stupid clown.
I'm not going to deal with this much past this moment. You best go get your manager, young lady. How
did it end? Happily ever after?
Yeah, the manager walked around the counter and goes, what happened? What happened? And I was like, I ain't got no burgers.
I hope you didn't play the Don't You Know Who I Am
No,
card?
absolutely not. I would never do that.
Good.
I would never do that.
Good.
No, and she looked at the girl and she goes, get the woman some hamburgers, for God's sake. What is the problem?
I never say never, but I haven't yet.
No.
You're listening to Mike and Tricia Mornings. 93.